So welcome back to episode 2 on how to get started on eToro. If you're a beginner investor and you're new to eToro, this video could be for you. In the last video, we opened an account, we deposited, and now we are ready to make a trade. It's not just as simple as clicking on a company and pressing buy. There's a lot of different features with eToro that we need to talk about. After talking about some of these features like leverage and what a CFD is, we'll go ahead and make a purchase, and then we'll also close the trade as well so that you see the full process. Now, a quick thing here, if you have not signed up to eToro yet and you do so via using the link on the pinned comment, if you sign up, deposit, and make a trade, you get lifetime access to the LWT eToro chat room. So if you've yet to sign up, go ahead and click the link down below. While you're there as well, you'll see this little thing that looks like a hand with a thumb pointing upwards. If you could click it, it would greatly help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So if you could do me that kind favor, just go ahead and make sure that like button is turned blue. So swiftly moving on, because there is a lot of cover in this short period of time, you can see that if we go onto the main page, when you log into eToro, you will see our watch lists. You can see there also the copy to 100K portfolio, which is my main account. You can go and check that out. You can copy it directly if you want. And you can also see that we have available balance. We also have our total allocated, our profit, and also our total equity. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed I have deposited a little bit more into this account, and that will become relevant later on as the series progresses, because I want to make sure that I can deliver the best videos for you, and I needed to add these funds to prove a point in a later video on copy portfolios. So if you want to make sure you do not miss that, make sure you have subscribed and turned on the bell. But we can see we have currently got $68.9 US sat there doing absolutely nothing. And I'm quite liking the look of BP, and I think I should go and buy some because I do think BP will do well in the future. So is it as simple as just clicking on BP and then clicking trade? Absolutely not. On clicking on trades, you will start seeing pop-ups like this. If you click got it, you can then move on, and you will see here that we have this sort of trade filling inbox. Let's go through this in a bit of detail. Starting at the top, we can see that we've got the ticker symbol BP.L to make sure that you're buying the right ticker. This is obviously the price, how much it's up on the day. The market in the UK is currently open at the recording of this video. And then you see trade or order. Now this is very important, but I'm gonna cover this later on when we come to actually putting in the trade in a couple of minutes time. We then have the amount, which you can put in dollars or in units if you wish. So for example, if you wanted to buy 13 shares of BP, you could do that as well, and it will automatically take out the correct amount of currency from your portfolio. But most people, I do feel, tend to put the amount in because it's easier to deal with. We then have a thing called a stop loss, which is very important for new investors and actually also experienced investors. And what this basically is this is how much money are you willing to lose. So for example, if you click this button down here and click from amount to rate, then you can put in how much you're willing to lose. So for example, on this trade, if I put in $53 and I'm only willing to lose 10 bucks, then it will automatically sell this position for me when I go down to a $10 loss, which we can see at the bottom would equate to 18% of the position amount. So to put it in an even simpler term, when the portfolio goes down 18%, it'll automatically take me out and I can minimize my losses. Sticking with the next column, we have something called leverage, and you can see here this is very important. First thing, ×1. This means that basically you are not using leverage. If you put in $50, you are buying $50 of whatever you're buying. But if you move up to, say, leverage 2, things change drastically. But sticking with leverage 1 for now, you can see here there is a very important sort of line here saying you are buying the underlying asset. Now, eToro does offer a thing called a CFD, a contract for difference, which is basically a contract between you and eToro, or you and whatever broker you're using. It's mainly only focused at people in the UK. It is available in some places in Europe too with different brokers. If you want a full video on CFDs in this series, I can make sure that happens. Just let me know down in the comments. But if we click 2 times leverage, you can see here it automatically changes to a CFD trade, which means higher risk. And if you click 5, you're absolutely out of your mind, but you can buy 5 times leverage. Now, when you're buying FX or crypto, this 5 could be a hell of a lot more, depending on eToro's current risk structure. But I do strongly suggest, especially if you're a new investor, just stay away from leverage. You don't need it in your life. And it might be the quickest way to make a quick buck, but it's definitely the quickest way to lose everything you have. Then moving away from leverage, at the top we have a take profit. Very similar to the stop loss, we can put in what amount or what rate or what dollar amount we want to take and automatically sell this stock at a profit. So for example, right now you can see if BP goes up 999.99%, I would make on my 53 bucks $533, at which case it's automatically going to sell it for me if I click this feature. You can obviously click no TP, which means no take profit. Now I did mention we have something at the top from trade to order, but I did skip one little thing. If you want to short a stock, and what that means is to bet against a company, you think BP's going to go down, you can actually make money on a downside. And that video is coming very soon in this series. In fact, it's already recorded. So if you want to learn how to short a stock in eToro, make sure again you have subscribed. But what you would do in that scenario is you would click sell, and it's basically meaning short. And as you can see, the setup is exactly the same. But sticking with the buy, we did say we have this order flow. And if we click order, this is something very different. Now what you can do here is we see BP is currently trading at 298.90 or 299. It's fluctuating between these amounts. But let's say I wanted to buy BP at a little bit of a discount. I want to throw out an order there at 270 pence a share, and then when BP hits that, it will automatically buy my stock for me at 270. That's what the order means. And again, I can then still fit in exactly what I need to do. I want to buy $53 worth, or I want to buy 15 shares worth at 270. And this is sort of one of the things that a lot of people sort of misunderstand. If you're buying it at this price, or if you've done a proper calculation on what you value a stock at, this is the price that you want to pay. And a lot of people sort of skip this step. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to skip the step because we're going to be sat in BP for maybe a couple of months before we get this price. And I hope it does get there sooner, but we could be sat there for a hell of a long time. So now coming back to it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this trade. I'm going to put in $50 worth. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to put in $65 worth into BP, and all I have to do is click open trade. We do have this other box called a trailing stop loss, but that's also coming in another video, so I'm going to leave that alone. But we're going to go ahead and click open trade. And now we can see at the bottom, order is filled. And if we go over to our portfolio, we can see that BP is there, and I'm actually pending closing on a copy portfolio, as I said, which is my main one, for a various reason in a future video. But we can see here, basically, we have BP. We bought 15.81 units for our price of 65 bucks. Our average price there is 298.85. Our profit loss, which is unrealized, which means that it's not sold, it's not locked in. This is if we sold it now, what we can expect. And our average P&L. Now this is going to fluctuate as the market is open, and we can see our total value there will increase also. You then have your sell and your buy if you wanted to quickly go and add more or sell some. That's basically what it is. Now I did say I was going to go and sell this trade as well because I've decided I bought BP too early, and I do think it's going to go down to that 270. So what I do is basically if I just click on the ticket itself, you can see it goes to this separate box. Now we have a few options. We have this X, which would basically just close the trade. We also have a little cog next to the X where we can change our stop losses or our take profits, which is good because we can edit that as we go on. But we can actually just close out the trade. Now, if you have a decent amount of size in a trade, so for example, if you've got, I think it's over $100, you will have an option here to close partial trade, close a partial amount of it, which is quite key if you want to just lock in some gains. Again, that video is going to come later in this series. So I'm going to head and click close trade, and let's see how much we lost or made. So now if we go down into our portfolio and we click this little clock with an arrow around it, we can see our previous history. And we can see there the latest one, the BP, we bought in at 65 and we actually lost a cent. We lost a single cent on making this trade. So maybe I cut losses early and that was a good one. But that is basically how you buy and close a trade on eToro. If you're a beginner on eToro, I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any video ideas or things you want me to cover, drop them down in the comments. Make sure you have smashed that like button And if you want to support the channel and get some exclusive perks and see what I'm buying and selling in my main portfolio, you have two options. One is you can copy the Coffee to 100K challenge, which is sort of where we add $180 a month to an eToro account. You can go and copy that directly. Or the other option is you sign up with Patreon down on the pinned comment, and you can get some exclusive perks like our chat room, or a bonus, you can sign up with the link on the pinned comment to eToro. And if you sign up via that link, you actually get access to one of the chat rooms for live. So there's a few ways where you can copy it. Hope you found the video beneficial. If you could drop the code word down below, which is simply buy stocks now, it would massively help me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's it from me. Take care. God bless. Peace.